ultimate form of revenge for me is success.
Dr. Dre! Dr.
D.R.E.
I'm gonna keep being successful and make you look like shit.
Dr. Dre ain't just a legend. He's a whole era in music and culture. He blew up back in the late 80s with NWA. Yeah, the crew everybody was scared of. They were running the streets and the headlines, known as the most dangerous rap group out at the time.
The lyrics are shocking and offensive to some and very, very, very explicit.
Ever since he dropped his first solo joint, The Chronic, his influence just kept stacking up. That album didn't just make noise. It flipped the whole rap game on its head. He mixed that hard-hitting, no-filter lyricism with smooth, funky beats. And from that point on, every producer had to level up.
I just want to inspire and be inspired.
As a rapper, a producer, a hustler, and someone who really lives this I don't lose mindset,
Call myself a fucking professional winner.
Dr. Dre really did everything. Man's not just a legend. He got an ear for talent like nobody else. He put Snoop, Eminem, and 50 Cent on the map, and that alone changed the whole game. Then he went and built Beats by Dre, turned headphones into a lifestyle, and Apple swooped in and dropped $3 billion on it. This is the incredible journey of Dr. Dre, Andre Romel Young. Yeah, the man we all know as Dr. Dre. Pulled up into the world on February 18th, 1965, right in the heart of Los Angeles. A real West Coast legend in the making from day one.
You're just 15, is that right?
I actually had just turned 16.
So you were 15 when you got pregnant, 16 when you had him.
Exactly, February 18th. And so he was sort of like a birthday present, a little doll. And I just, I learned, I read books, child psychology books, stuff because I wanted to be a good mother. And prove all these people wrong that in the neighborhood, you hear the little whispers, look at her, she's not going to be nothing, and her child's not going to be nothing either.
Growing up, Dre's spot was basically a whole soundtrack in itself. His parents were heavy into music. The Cribe had stacks of Diana Ross, James Brown, all that soul energy. It didn't just play in the room, it got in his bones. Before long, Dre was locked in, spinning vinyl, messing with turntables, just lost in the groove. But don't get it twisted. Home wasn't always peaceful. The music was fire, but life around it, not so smooth.
Spent a lot of my time in the bedroom, away from everybody. A lot of people didn't even know he had a wife.
Just so you know what's going on. Verna's talking about Dre's pops and his boys.
And, drinking and doing, what have you. And I just didn't want my child to be around that. And I would always keep my eye out the window and looking at strange cars and stuff parked across the street or down the street thinking, what happens if the police come and take everybody to jail and they take my child away?
After his parents split up, Dre and his mom were basically hopscotching around for a place to stay. They finally landed in Wilmington Arms out in Compton. And trust me, that spot was rough.
Project in Compton.
That is a house that Dr. Dre grew up in.
Dr. Dre came up in a family that already had its struggles, and life didn't get any smoother. They got hit with more heartbreak and losses along the way.
I have 5 children. I have my oldest, Andre, and my youngest, Shamika, who is 30. Now, I lost 3 boys. One died at 2 months old. We don't know what. They just labeled it something. He was healthy, and I woke up one morning and he was dead. That took a toll on me. Oh my God, I could hear a baby crying in the distance. I started drinking, and I had one that died. He was only a day old. I delivered him prematurely. And the one that hurt, I think, the most was my son that got killed in '89. He was 21 years old and got killed by a gang member.
Yeah, your son, Tyree.
Yeah, but it was devastating. I thought I was a walking zombie half the time. And
his mom's, Verna, held it down heavy, working mad jobs, keeping the whole house together. She's the one who drilled that grind into Dre. No excuses. School, though. Man, Dre wasn't feeling that at all. Books and lectures weren't his lane. Music was his heartbeat. That's where his whole soul lived.
Everybody's not fortunate enough to be a doctor or a lawyer, you know? Everybody doesn't complete 4 years of college, you know?
Man, one Christmas, Dre got a little beat machine, and boom, life flipped right there. Dude turned his house into a whole studio lab, cooking beats for hours trying to find his sound. His first real shot? Eve, After Dark, a rough L.A. club where all the hungry talent used to slide through. Back then, he called himself Dr. J, cause he was hyped off his favorite hooper, Julius Erving. That spot was legendary, and that's where he linked up with DJ Yella, who would later ride with him in NWA. You'll see how crazy that gets in a sec. Eventually, Dr. J flipped into Dr. Dre, mixed the old name with his real one like, yeah, I'm him. It wasn't just a name change. That was Dre saying he runs the board, the mixes, the whole vibe. By '84, he joined world-class wrecking crew. Flashy fits, shiny jackets, whole disco futuristic West Coast thing. They were popping, no doubt. But the glitz, the sparkly suits, it started feeling fake to him, like Hollywood plastic. Dre was hearing something raw in his head, a new sound, harder, darker, realer. That's when the streets started calling, and you already know what comes next.
I mean, Ice-T had a big influence on a lot of people out here because he actually started it to me. Ice-T and Schoolie D, actually, because, you know, they were saying things that we could relate to, you know.
Step into '86. That's when Dre linked up with Ice Cube, who was out here cooking up what he called street reality rap. Straight from the block, no sugarcoating.
Living with my mom, and, you know, at that time, her idea of what my future was going to be didn't agree with my idea. So I decided to leave and go spend some time at my aunt's house, which happened to live 2 houses down from Cube, and that's how we met.
I met Dre when I was about 14 years old. He was already part of the wrecking crew. He was like the most famous person we all knew. And so he heard me rap, and he just liked me. And so, you know, he started to come over more and more, and you know, I started helping him write rhymes for the wrecking crew.
Cube's raw talent and grime-heavy lyrics hit Dre right away. Dude knew he was special the second he heard him.
And, you know, we used to make mixtapes and do different things in the garage and what have you. And what we would do was take popular songs at the time.
The two of them started hitting clubs, Cube dropping heavy bars, and Dre spinning beats, right in the middle of Compton, at the height of the crack era. They were making noise in a city that was going through hell, but the music, it was fire.
Man, like, there were certain things that was going on, like the crack epidemic.
Yeah, we got all that in there.
With the gangsterism.
The police brutality is really, you know, it's really a period. The period is between 86 and 96. So we couldn't.
Back in 87, everything flipped. Eric Wright, yeah, the streets knew him as Eazy-E, got tired of hustling dirty cash. So he flipped the script and launched Ruthless Records with Jerry Heller. Easy peeped the talent early. He saw Dre and Cube cooking heat, so he pulled him in and said, yo, let's build something real. And just like that, his label wasn't just born. The whole West Coast was about to wake up.
And Eazy wanted to be a manager, to have rappers and have a label and all that. Dre convinced him, like, you got a voice, man. Fuck this manager shit. You got a voice. You got a style. You got flavor, man. Do it.
It didn't take long before they pulled in MC Ren and DJ Yella, and boom, NWA was born. But Dre wasn't just another dude in the crew. He was the one laying the blueprint, building a whole new wave in hip-hop.
If you look at every NWA song, there's only one person that did something on every single NWA song.
After they came through with that wild debut straight out of Compton back in '88, NWA didn't just blow up. They locked in the title World's Most Dangerous Group like it was nothing.
The craziest part about this revolution that we started is this album, Straight Outta Compton, was only done in 6 weeks, 5 days a week studio time, you know what I mean? At 3 hours a day, you know? So it was crazy how this happened, and it just let me know how powerful I could be. I'm like, damn, if people are buying this, wait till I really get a chance to get in the studio on some real equipment with some real time.
This major, you know, because every time we went in the studio, we was basically just trying to make records that was gonna rock our neighborhood or just rock LA. We wanted to become LA stars. We wasn't even thinking any further than Los Angeles, to tell you the truth. Maybe Oakland, you know what I'm saying?
The feds locked onto their music, especially that track for The Police. Instead of slowing them down, trying to shut it up just made the movement blow up even harder. Like they poured gas straight on the flame.
The lyrics are shocking and offensive to some and very, very, very explicit. But
That album didn't just drop music. It sparked a whole fight about free speech. The track turned into a lightning rod, and suddenly everybody was arguing about whether you can really speak your mind in America or not.
NWA not only changed music, but we changed pop culture all over the world because we made it all right for artists to be themselves. You know, you didn't have to be squeaky clean to be just as big or bigger than the squeaky clean artist.
Straight out of Compton, NWA.
We're gonna be ourselves no matter what. On record, off record, we're gonna be ourselves. And I think it opened the floodgates for artists who wanted to be a little raw.
As NW's tour started blowing up and the media went crazy, the heat and Fuck the Police cut through the rest of the album, which was mostly dark vibes, shady takes on women, and full-on aggression straight out of Public Enemy's playbook.
Niggers with Attitude, known as NWA, has taunted law enforcement with its lyrics urging violence against police. But it is the group's sexually explicit lyrics that attracted attention from the Attorney General's office.
This is frankly offensive to me, and I think to any parent that would hear and would know what these lyrics are all about, they would find that it is nothing but...
As expected, the cops weren't feeling NWA's attitude at all. I can also make a slightly edgier version if you wanted to hit harder for a YouTube rap storytelling vibe. No shocker, the cops straight up hated NWA's defiance.
You can't say fuck the police in Detroit. You know, they's gonna make an example out of us. But they didn't arrest us on the stage, so they little plan they had didn't work. So, you know, we got a letter from the FBI telling us about our record, Fuck the Police, and how they didn't appreciate the way the lyrics was, you know, presented to everybody.
But, like a lot of good things, money turned out to be their weak spot. By December '89, Ice Cube was done. Dude had written mad hard-hitting lines for the album, showed up heavy on the tracks, and still felt shortchanged. Eazy-E and Jerry Heller didn't give him what he deserved.
You know, it's really a joke in this day and age for people to think that you can steal money in the record business. Yeah. It's not possible. We would get the numbers at the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
Easy and I. His business manager would go over them. We would send them to our lawyers. Our lawyers would go over them. The accountants would then draw up all the paperwork. Then we would send it, whether it was Cube or whoever, his business manager and his lawyer.
Yeah.
It was all done by computer. You know, to think about that, a picture of Easy and I sitting there late at night with green eyeshadows on cooking the books, it's just a joke. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So anyone that even would believe something like that.
His beef with Heller over royalties was the last straw. Cube bounced from NWA and went solo. And he didn't hold back, tossing lyrical shots at his old crew left and right.
All suckers 100 miles and run.
Like to give a shout out to the DOC.
He was very, very jealous of Easy. And of course, he was jealous of the relationship between Easy and I.
Cube really blew up after going solo, dropping hits like America's Most Wanted in '90 and killing it with Boys in the Hood in '91. That move totally proved he made the right call.
About the group breaking up and everything, that's not happening. We're still a part of NWA. NWA is still together.
So check it. Back in '91, NWA dropped their second album right in the middle of all the chaos. Cops were raiding distribution spots, locking up sellers left and right. And honestly, that just made the album even hotter.
Because he wasn't paying me my money.
That's the bottom line.
Bottom line, that's it. No more NWA.
Same year, Dre lost his cool at a Hollywood party. Dude straight up went at TV host D Barnes after her show. Pump It Up aired some stuff on Ice Cube that he wasn't feeling.
Pay me my money.
That's the bottom line.
Bottom line, that's it. No more NWA.
Dre had to cough up $2,500, got slapped with 2 years probation, had to grind out 240 hours of community service, and had to show up for some anti-violence PSA.
Yo, this is Dr. Dre.
All these things you're hearing, and it just like waking up in the morning. One morning I woke up and I had my radio on, and I wake up to Dr. Dre is being sought for stabbing a 17-year-old kid. And I was like, oh my God. And first thing I thought, I don't know what, was to call Andre, and he's at home in his bed. And I said, well, Andre, I was like going, they're talking about you were involved in this thing, you know, and he says, wasn't me. he said, Mom, you can't believe everything the media says. And I said, okay, I'm going to keep that thought, but how do I know when I should really be worrying? So it was a little scary.
NWA's story? Yeah, it went the usual route. Drama and chaos. Dre was out here back in Cube talking about unpaid royalties. Dude had to call in Suge Knight just to shake off those ruthless record vibes.
Obviously, they were just using it as an excuse in Compton or wherever to say, you know, we got rid of the white guy, you know, because, you know, he was helping Easy Steal or whatever. But, you know, it's nobody ever sued me and nobody ever sued him. So obviously it was all bullshit.
Suge Knight's, man, dude was straight up ruthless and somehow played Dre out of his contract.
The guy was only getting 1 point, 2 points, and it was cross-collateralizing everything.
Right.
Even though he was a producer, along with Yellow, if JJ Fad go in the hole,
right,
he got to pay for it.
Right.
So it's no way, if he produced and worked for 20 years, he wouldn't have never seen any money. He was always been recouped.
So you went in there with the business savvy.
Right.
Suge Knight, to me, marked the end of fun in hip-hop. Before that, it was fun. We all had fun, man.
Yeah.
After Suge Knight got involved, there was no more fun. There were guys sitting in our office with Uzis 24 hours a day. You know, so he changed the entire complexion of what was happening at Root.
With Dre as his top dog, Knight launched Death Row Records and straight up changed the rap game, bringing bars and beats to a whole new level. When Dre bounced from Ruthless, it wasn't just drama. It kicked off a wild, game-changing chapter in hip-hop. With Dre riding shotgun, Suge Knight was out here snatching raw, street-born talent straight from Cali's gritty corners, building Death Row Records from the ground up. But Knight wasn't just about dropping record deals. He got the label plugged into the 1992 flick Deep cover. And that single? Yeah, that's the one where Dre flexed his freedom, rolling with Snoop Dogg, his hungry, street-smart protege.
Dr. Dre was the perfect father figure, role model, mentor, and producer for me at the time because I was young, I was raw, but I needed direction and I needed some sculpting. And he was able to shape me and mold me and teach me the right way of how to do it. And he had the right team around me. And I've always respected the fact that he was willing to teach me when I was not who I am today.
Right in the middle of all that wild creative chaos, they started cooking up The Chronic, with Snoop Dogg and the whole Death Row crew in the mix.
The Chronic. In Bud we trust. Yeah, man, The Chronic is like, you know, it's the bomb thing on the street right now, you know? And I figure, you know, my album is the bomb, so I had to call it that.
Fueled by straight-up bangers, all about that nothing but a G thing energy. Rolling through with Dre Day, Snoop Dogg spitting bars like a lyrical sniper, The Chronic, man, that album was a cultural grenade, ready to blow the whole rap game wide open. G-Funk didn't just show up, it steamrolled the early 90s, flipping hip-hop's DNA on its head. By 93, the RIAA slapped Dre's album with triple platinum, no cap. Dre even copped a Grammy for Best Rap Solo Performance with Let Me Ride. Billboard wasn't playing either. They had him ranked number 8 for the year, The Chronic sitting number 6 for top albums, and nothing but a G-Thang holding number 11 on singles. Dre was straight dominating the game.
Nothing But a G-Thang was made to a Boss Gag song. I can't remember the name of the song, but Snoop was actually in jail, and I really wanted this demo done. So he called in, and I taped the receiver of the phone to the mic.
Hilarious.
And you can hear jail sounds in the back and everything. He's won. too, that whole thing. So that was the original version. I just happened to be at my mom's house going through records, and then I found this Leon Haywood, I Want to Do Something Freaky to You, and thought that would make a better foundation track. So took that back, recorded the track. Snoop got out, and we just recorded this song at my house. It was a bedroom that I converted into a studio at my house. That's what it's...
It wasn't just about the music, man. It was a whole movement, with Dre and his crew running the show.
We recorded G-Thing first, then I got locked up, then I got out, and then we did Deep Cover. And Deep Cover came out first, and then we re-recorded G-Thing once my shit had got healed. Cause my voice was like fucked up, but once my shit had got healed, my shit was crisp as a motherfucker. I heard that shit in my earphone. I'm like, this nigga Dr. Dre is the shit, cuz. My shit sounded clean, like 1, 2, 3 into the 4. That shit was like crystal clear.
Yo, Dre wasn't just cooking up his own classics. He was the mastermind behind Snoop's first joint, Doggy Style. And this ain't just any debut, nah. That thing straight up smashed the Billboard 200, hitting #1 like it was running off the rails. By 94, Dre was already dropping magic on movie soundtracks too. Above the Rim, Murder Was the Case, turning film beats into straight up street anthems.
In a song and in music and get flack for it, and not get the same flack if the same thing was projected in a movie.
Exactly.
Or a book. It's a really weird thing, and I've had this conversation with people, like, why does music get such a bad rap when it comes to, let's just say it's gunplay in a song? It would get a bad rap. But you have movies where they're killing like 1,000 people in it and nothing to say. That's because music has the ability to touch your soul, and it's a different type of touch. It's a different type of experience when you're listening to music.
Then came the legendary truce with Ice Cube and Boom. They dropped the hard-hitting track Natural Born Killers in 95. Like that wasn't enough, Dre came through again with Keep Their Heads Ringing for the movie Friday. That joint shot straight up to #10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and snatched the top spot on the Hot Rap Singles chart. Dre was straight up a hit machine, leaving platinum plaques and chart toppers everywhere he touched in 95. Meanwhile, Death Row wasn't playing. They signed Tupac fast, making him the crown jewel of the label. Then Tupac and Dre linked up, and California Love blew the roof off, sending both of them straight to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for the first time. On the surface, it looked like a golden era for Death Row, but behind the scenes, drama was bubbling like a pressure cooker.
Oh, the only difference was these are guys that were either on their way to the penitentiary or just coming home from the penitentiary.
I mean, a lot of those guys that worked there was scared just to come to work because somebody might just come in here and whoop your ass.
It was hell, going in there and dealing with these folks.
I always tease you about being unhappy. They came here one night and I'm trying to do the monologue, right? Him and all his partners sitting looking at me like this. I was throwing my best stuff, nigga. Are you enjoying life? You enjoying your career? Yeah, it's cool, I'm loving it.
Because it was still guys that was hanging around with that bully mentality that want to poke you and push your buttons because they know they can do it. They know you're not going to do nothing kind of stuff.
Suge Knight's shadow was massive over Death Row, straight up menacing. Dude's crazy rep and all them legal battles, always stealing the spotlight from the label's hits. And yeah, the music, straight fire, no doubt.
That's when Suge Knight was the monster, the boogeyman. Right. That's when he was the boogeyman.
The East Coast, West Coast beef? Yeah, that's the chapter everyone remembers. Death Row going head-to-head with Bad Boy, Sean Diddy Combs holding it down for the East, and Biggie Smalls repping heavy. This wasn't just beef, it was a full-blown media circus, blowing up everywhere, and it tragically ended with the drive-by shootings of Tupac and Biggie. The hits left a raw hole in hip-hop, and the rumors, the conspiracies, they're still alive in the culture today. Meanwhile, Dre was watching all this chaos unfold, fed up with the escalating violence and the toxicity at the label. Smart move? He dipped in 96 before it all got worse.
Dre was willing to leave Death Row with nothing. He walked out with no masters, no money, nothing.
I've walked away from millions of dollars, Kevin. You know, it's if it's not right, I'm not with it. I'm not about to leave with a wet ass. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that.
Right before the whole Tupac and Biggie drama went down, Dre pulled one of the slickest moves in hip-hop history. He dipped out and started his own label, showing his hustle wasn't just in the booth, but in running the streets of the music game too. Back in '96, Dr. Dre dipped out of Death Row and kicked off Aftermath Entertainment, linking up with Interscope to handle the grind, distribution, promo, and the cash flow. This move let Dre lock in on his beats while still having a major label writing shotgun. Aftermath wasn't about pumping out tracks. Dre was all about quality over quantity, dropping only the big-name headline-making releases.
All of a sudden, I'm on my own again, and I have to go find, new artists, new musicians to work with. Fortunately for me, I had done it once before. I know what the feeling of starting over feels like.
But when the labels first dropped, Dr. Dre Presents The Aftermath, back in November '96, man, it was kind of bloated and straight up boring. Honestly, some tracks you couldn't even sit through.
I just felt like the music I was doing at that time, it wasn't completely up to par. It was just something that we were working on and experimenting with it.
Man, the whole thing straight up bombed. Critics tore it apart. Fans were side-eyeing Dre, and people started questioning if his career was even gonna survive. Dre took another L in '97 with the firm's debut album. This supergroup had Nas, AZ, Foxy Brown, and Nature. Big names, big hype. Even hit #1. But folks said it sounded too poppy and the crew just didn't click. After that, the group got dropped from Aftermath and eventually broke up. Dre's magic touch? Yeah. It felt totally missing this time.
Felt like maybe I needed to bump into the right artist or the right musician or whatever.
Word on the street was that Aftermath was kind of strapped for cash. Then, on top of that, they got hit with a trademark lawsuit from some underground thrash metal crew, also called Aftermath. But the big twist came in 1998, when Dre's boy Jimmy Iovine, the Interscope co-founder, slid him a demo from this white rapper out of Detroit named Eminem.
Jimmy Iovine introduced me to Eminem, and that's when everything took off.
His crazy multi-syllable rhymes hit different. Dre knew in minutes they'd stumbled on something real special.
To work with, I would go to Jimmy's house and have listening sessions. And I remember him picking up this cassette tape, and I was like, what the fuck and who the fuck is that?
Even though the game doubted a white rapper from Detroit, DRE and IOV knew M was too fire to sleep on. A move that obviously blew up big time.
That can't work. It won't sell over there. It won't sell over there. All people have is what they saw before. I just felt that everybody in the world was gonna dig this shit.
Dre and M hit the studio for the first time, and damn, it was electric. The vibe was insane. Chemistry off the charts. In no time, they were cooking up what would become one of Em's biggest bangers. My Name Is.
My Name Is.
He was hungry, I was hungry, and it was just like, that spontaneous combustion, we just clicked, and that just brought everything and everybody together that was happening at that time.
The crowd went wild. That track blew up, shooting Eminem straight to the top, flipping him from some unknown MC to a straight-up national icon overnight. Dre's move to sign him? Yeah, it shut all the haters up and cemented Dre as a straight-up visionary. But more than that, it kicked off a whole new chapter in hip-hop, with Dre and M running the game. From that moment on, their legacies were locked together, untouchable.
Then we found out that what we were doing, it really works. And that's all we needed. It's like, okay, the Slim Shady LP, they like that. How do we know it works? Wait till they hear this. And then we went in and started working on my second solo album, 2001.
So check this. Dr. Dre came back hard with his second solo album, 2001, dropping in November '99. Dude went full-on gangster rap again. Funny thing, he first called it The Chronic 2000, trying to flex it as a follow-up to his first classic. But then, Death Row dropped a compilation with that name, so Dre switched it up to 2001 instead. Smooth move, right?
At that time, I wanted to call the album The Chronic 2000, right? And my previous partners from Death Row, I heard that they were doing an album called The Chronic 2000. And it was actually Jimmy Iovine's idea to call the album 2001. So I didn't really give a fuck. I thought the music was great. I thought that everything that we were doing was fantastic, and I just said, okay, fuck it, what's in the title? You know, let's just call it 2001.
Call it
and
whatever, the music gonna
and
do
it
what
was
it do.
it's almost like a shot at them. They called their shit 2000. I said, okay, yeah, that'd be great, 2001. So that's the story behind it.
This album came packed with heavy hitters. We're talking Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and a bunch more. When it dropped in 2001, it blew up, hitting number 2 on the Billboard 200 and going 6 times platinum. It had straight up classics too. Singles like Still D.R.E. and Forgot About Drake had everybody bumping.
That was Eminem's idea. He wrote the song for me and Snoop originally. He laid the reference vocals for Snoop, and I liked the way it sounded. So we just kept it that way, and I laid my vocals, and that was it.
After the massive hit of 2001, Dr. Dre switched gears and started cooking for other artists. He co-produced 6 tracks on Eminem's The Marshall Mathers LP, including the Grammy-winning banger, The Real Slim Shady. That album didn't just win a Grammy. It smashed records, moving 1.76 million copies in its first week, making it the fastest-selling rap album of all time back in 2001. Dre didn't stop there. He dropped Family Affair for Mary J. Blige's No More Drama and cooked up Let Me Blow Your Mind, the collab between Eve and Gwen Stefani that still hits hard today.
Dre is like a complete inspiration for me. Like, I've been listening to his music before it was even a serious idea for me to get next to him.
Back in 2002, Dre scooped up 50 Cent, signing him to Aftermath in a collab with Interscope and Eminem's Shady Records. Dre took the wheel as exec producer on 50's debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, which dropped in February 2003.
So I did the Get Rich or Die Trying. It was supposed to be me producing half of the album and Eminem producing the other half. I was in the studio with 50 for just 7 days for my entire half of the album.
Yeah.
He came in there and went crazy. Writing, all right, put up another one. Writing, put up another one. And we got the entire thing done in 7 days, at least my half.
The album blew up, hitting big numbers, with Dre co-producing half of it after dropping hits and tracks for Eminem, 50 Cent, and a bunch of other artists. Dre even snagged the 54th spot on Rolling Stone's 2005 Immortals list, basically the greatest artist ever. His third album, originally called Detox, was supposed to be the final one. First teased for 2007, then pushed back to 2010. As of now, Detox still hasn't dropped, but Dre's story, it ain't over yet.
He's always had the attitude and the spirit of, I don't care about what I made, it's all about what I'm about to make.
When the music game got hit hard by piracy and illegal downloads, Dre switched lanes. He linked up with Jimmy Iovine and Monster Cable and dropped Beats by Dre in 2008. The brand blew up fast, soon rocking wireless headphones, portable speakers, and even streaming tunes online. By 2014, Apple came through and copped Beats for a whopping $3.2 billion, their biggest buy ever. And you know what? Beats was so solid, Apple didn't even mess with the name or the look. They let it ride just like Dre built it.
I always call myself a fucking professional winner.
Back in 2015, Dre linked up with Ice Cube to co-produce Straight Outta Compton, putting the spotlight on NWA's crazy rise and their rough fall. The movie showed the harsh street life and how the crew came up on top, and it ended up raking in over $200 million worldwide. Later, Dre tried to spit his own story with Apple's series Vital Signs, diving deep into his gritty past. But that joint never dropped. Too much drama with drugs, violence, and explicit scenes, so it got shelved.
Ultimate form of revenge for me is success. I'm gonna keep being successful and make you look like shit.
Around that time, Dre shocked the hip-hop world. He ditched his long-awaited Detox album and dropped Compton right alongside the NWA movie premiere. Yeah, it was pitched as a movie companion, but that label doesn't even scratch the surface of how fresh and original this project really is. And the wild part? Dre's pushing 50, nearly a billionaire, and still coming through full energy. On this album, Dre sounds alive, relevant, and hungry. He's always been about collaboration, linking up with other rappers and producers, letting their skills shine while carving out his own legacy. On Compton, he takes that game to a whole new level. The vibe feels personal but also collective, letting other voices ride the spotlight while Dre holds it down behind the scenes. Dre's been shaping hip-hop for decades, Back in the 90s, he flipped the script with ambitious beats and orchestration, absorbing everything around him and turning it into something new. His classics opened doors nobody even knew existed. Compton might not hit with that jaw-dropping shock factor, but it's still top-tier way, more layered and unexpected than most people were ready for.
Music isn't for everybody. You know, I just love recording. It's for my friends and family, and really just for me. And some of it's the whole.
Check this out. Dre didn't just drop this album for the streets or the charts. He straight up put his money where his heart is. Every single dollar of profit from that project went back to Compton High School. The goal? To build a brand new performing arts center where students could come through, express themselves, and chase their dreams. We're talking a space with proper stages, music rooms, and all the tools young artists need to level up. It wasn't just about giving back cash. It was about creating opportunities, inspiring the next generation, and showing that even from the toughest neighborhoods, big moves and big dreams are possible. Dre made it clear success ain't just about the bag. It's about lifting your community while you're stacking it.
Thing there that I really wanted to learn. I mean, of course I wanted to learn math and reading and all that, but I'm an artist. And there, you know, in Compton, in my particular high school, there was nothing there available, you know. This thing that we're building has everything that I needed.
On top of that, DRE and Iovine dropped $70 million on USC to back a 4-year program that mixes liberal arts, design, business, and tech, basically setting up the next-gen creators.
One of the kids that comes out of our academy has the potential to go on and do something to change the world. That's the thing that's the most interesting to me.
Back in 2022, Dre linked up with Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl halftime show. That performance? Straight fire. It even snagged 3 Emmys, including Outstanding Variety Special, making history as the first Super Bowl halftime show ever to win that award.
Everybody really felt the magnitude of what this thing was and what we were going to be able to accomplish. And it was a fantastic experience.
Back in 2023, the Recording Academy teamed up with the Black Music Collective to drop the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, celebrating how Dre straight up changed the game in music.
Yeah, I'm extremely moved by this award. I want to say thank you to the Recording Academy and the Black Music Collective for this.
Back in March 2024, he snagged his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Imagine you'd have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
No, I didn't. That was not in my mental at Rolodex at all.
Who in hip-hop could even come close to Dr. Dre? I mean, his 3 solo joints, The Chronic, 2001, and Compton, barely even tap into the crazy impact he's had on the game. One of Dr. Dre's biggest moves, he's got this crazy eye for spotting raw talent and turning it into legends. Look at the lineup: Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, The Game.
40 years in my career right now, and there's just a few artists that I've worked with that were established. Those being Tupac, Mary J. Blige, and Busta Rhymes. Those are the only artists that I've worked with in my entire career that were already established. I like working with new and up-and-coming talent. Everybody that I've worked with is just new, fresh, and up-and-coming. And that's what I like to do.
Kendrick Lamar, Dre personally took these cats under his wing, helped them blow up, and straight up changed the game in hip-hop.
You launched so many careers, worked with so many people, NWA, of course, Eazy-E, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Eminem, Tupac, Kendrick Lamar, Anderson .Paak, Mary J. Blige, Gwen Stefani and Eve, T.I., Busta Rhymes, Alicia Keys, Missy Elliott, Exhibit, Warren G, G-Unit, Big Pun, Nate Dogg, Jay-Z, The Game, MC Scat Cat. Oh, wait a minute, that might be...
Just recently, I discovered a new...
Dr. Dre's legacy? Man, it's straight up legendary. The dude didn't just change music, he changed the whole culture. His influence? That's the kind that's gonna echo through the game for generations. As a hip-hop pioneer and a boss-level entrepreneur, Dre set the blueprint for everyone who came after.
Excited about the discovery of who I'm gonna become, because I'm an entirely different person today than I was just 10 years ago. So in the next 10 years, I'm excited about who I'm gonna be.